So we're gonna be doing something different today in this video, and you're soon gonna realize what it is.
Are you gonna be making this a vlog or?
I feel like I should.
The entire thing or what?
Yeah.
Good.
Good. All right. Today we're gonna be talking about somebody who thought he could control the lives of his kids. It worked.
Kind of waiting for the wind to pass. It is pretty windy today, which I just want to know.
Yeah.
So the audio might not be as good as the last one, but
we're hoping it won't be too bad. This all really started, I want to say, in 2017. We had our YouTube channels. Let's just say our ages. I was 14. He was
I don't know.
10.
9 or 10. I don't know.
You were 10.
I don't know when he first started actually watching them, but yeah,
6
9
or 17. I think 17. We had vlogs. We had car reviews. We had like car startups and repping. Yeah. No. Mine's just sliding around.
Yeah, it's not this bad.
Alright, so
okay,
we found
so
a better location.
we had to move locations because the wind was so bad.
So, you know, we talked about how we have the YouTube channels, and
Basically, what time are we gonna start off with? 2017.
yeah,
Just
naturally,
dead
you
in
know,
the center.
center of 2017, naturally, you know, making videos, we got a few
We had
views,
lots of
we got a few comments.
Car reviews, vlogs, shivers.
Yeah, but it was mostly really the car videos that kind of caught this
Attracted
one
a lot
person's
of people.
attention. This one
And-
person in particular.
He started commenting on our videos, I think, right?
Yeah, and it was usually very supportive stuff. It was like, you know,
Like the videos, nice videos.
keep it up. And there was one that was kind of weird that was like, keep filming the car's exhaust, which was like,
Was that
okay,
in 2017?
it was early 18 or 17.
But basically,
And we didn't think anything of it.
at the time, it was pretty
Because it was like,
innocent,
oh yeah, it's cool, whatever.
cool
you know?
stuff that we didn't really think much of, and we didn't really, look into it that much. But
So, this one fan, we're gonna say the
Let's-
name,
Adam,
Adam7868 screen
7868.
name, green A for a profile pic. Well, that comes green, just the A. And
I'm
we
gonna
don't know anything
say-
about this guy.
so I'm just gonna kind of go into it a little bit more because channel got deleted, right?
His old channel got deleted. It's
But
a
he
long
was
story.
still following or subscribed to your channel, right?
Yeah. He
When
was
I
still
made a new
subbed to
channel
mine.
in early 2018, you told him to sub to it, right?
Yeah.
He did.
And then he started following as usual,
Commenting,
same
liking.
old stuff. We didn't know anything about who was this person, how old is he. I remember saying at the time, he's either like 13 or like 20, and not knowing which, because
True.
that was what we thought.
Yeah, I remember that too.
So that kept going on, and
I don't
eventually,
think we really thought he was our age.
nah, and he really wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't.
But eventually it becomes like we're thinking like a couple of years of having this commenter. So we were like, let's. Are they coming to get their hoodies? We should pause these just in case they're coming to get their hoodies. Yeah, I think he
Sure.
is. All right, so
Okay, we're back.
a kid had to come and grab the hoodies they left on the next to the
We
road.
kind of threw on the ground, and
But anyway,
the guy had been commenting on our videos for a pretty long time, liking them and
and
supporting us.
I'm not
we,
even sure why, to be honest. But we were like, we want to know who this is. Like,
we thought he was a cool guy, and we kind of want to just be friends and see what was
online
up.
friends, you know. So
Because we didn't really have any at the time.
at this point, it's like late 2018, and we just commented our Snapchat, and we were like, hey, add us if you want. We can chat there.
Which I don't even think we used that much, to be honest.
We really didn't.
We
because
didn't use it at all.
One point, my phone broke, and I had nothing to use Snapchat
And I don't
with.
think I had a phone at the time either. Just my LG Pro.
So he did add us, and there was a little bit of talk about, really not much. He seemed like a weird computer nerd.
I just remember him telling us his age, and we were like, okay,
And we were
that's
like, okay,
kind of
he's
weird.
5 years older than me.
How old is he? How old was he at the time?
22? 21?
How old were you? 16?
I was
15?
16. No, I was 15. I'm about to turn 16, and he was 21.
And I was what? 11?
So I was 15, and you were 11. So we were like, oh, he's a bit older than us. So we didn't really talk much. He just
The
was
whole
like,
thing was honestly kind of weird to start
Yeah.
with, but I guess we kind of told ourselves if we're just friends and it's kind of casual, who cares?
and we weren't even friends. It was just like that, and it kind of ended. And then, so a year later, I'm 16, you're 12. It's 2019. The year's. It was around October he started to.
Kind of close and coming to an end of the year.
Yeah, it was almost coming to an end. So it's October 2019. He starts to text me more. No, September actually. he starts to text me more. And I think you a little bit, but not so much. Which was kind of weird looking back, but it was still just a lot of car talk. And I still am, but I was so into cars and like all that stuff.
But the thing with the car talk is we never thought it was weird, but I think it was.
It probably was. It was like, you know, constantly wanting certain revving videos and exhaust cams. And
Which I want to get into why we think that's all weird and why
and we will.
I'm almost positive it is.
But one thing is he bought like a bunch of like mini microphones to put in his car muffler and was like,
He did?
yeah, at the very start, and asking if I wanted some, and I would always change the subject because I didn't want to give him my address to mail me any, because I was like, you don't give some stranger off the internet your address, especially when
Yeah.
you're 16 and they're 22 or whatever. Anyway, yeah, so that was going on, and I don't think he messaged you much, but at one point we were sleeping
At
over
the
at
time, I really
grandparents'.
can't remember anything he said.
I don't know, I think it was October. He said like a selfie, and we were like, oh.
We knew he was. We
He
didn't
was-
really straight up say it, but we thought he was really ugly.
He was very overweight, very poor haircut, like just the whole
Just
thing.
didn't look, really look to take care of himself
At
at
all.
And I think we both knew it.
And
and
we
just
we
kinda
didn't
grossed
say
out.
it, but then at that point, like months went by. This wasn't October. This was in the summer. I feel like he sent the selfie. But anyway, months go by. He still eventually starts to text me every day.
So what time period are we at?
Let's say November 2019. He starts texting me every day. I forgot how he looked at that point. I had no idea. Like,
Didn't send any
no
pictures.
idea. Yeah. Didn't have any pictures anywhere. But he's texting me every day. It's all car stuff. Cars. Which I'm cool with because I just love to talk about cars at the time. And when did you start to think, you know, I was maybe starting to like him? Because I didn't really know. We're just going to be honest. Like, I was
I
starting
want to say whatever time I was like, gonna get the Xbox.
Yeah, which was around November, December.
It was pretty late in, but yeah, I think around that.
It was 2019 when it was coming to an
Yeah, you
end.
liked him, but you
And
didn't really straight up say it or anything.
yeah,
so
I was
didn't
just
really
like,
know.
you know, I like to talk to him, and so far he hadn't made any super weird comments, which is like,
And I feel like at the time I
anyone else
kind of
we
just thought
talked
this
to.
whole thing was a joke
yeah,
with him.
yeah,
Never thought it was gonna go as deep as it did.
same, honestly. So, I was at my grandparents alone a lot, and me and you stopped talking. Let's be real about that. Me and him, we used to have a lot of these things. We didn't fight, but we would just stop talking to each
I don't
other.
know
And like,
why, but yeah,
we don't know why, but
like a
so
month
anyway,
or two, right?
yeah, at
Kinda
the
like a
time.
month or two, not really
I'm
say
like,
much.
the only person I'm really talking to every day is this guy, and I'm not even talking to him, I'm texting him. At one point he sends a voice recording, I'm like, really high-pitched Australian.
Did you actually-
Oh, he's Australian.
Yeah, I was
Did I
thinking
what?
that. Did you actually think that when you first heard him?
Yeah,
Oh my god, I know I did.
yeah, very high-pitched. But anyway, so there comes a point where the conversations start to get a little bit weird. The whole car stuff. He's constantly wanting like pictures of the car's exhaust, which it started out as videos of it revving, but then it got to pictures, and I did think that was really weird.
Really?
Yeah. And there's like receipts to prove this. We have text over text that I've saved screenshots. Stuff got weirder. But anyway, eventually it's like only person I'm talking to, and I started to like him. And at the time I had barely turned 17, and he started to kind of be like, started to hint that he liked me. And in December, I think, is when he got with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he just hinting it, or was he like pushy with that? I
He
kinda
was
thought
like-
he was pushy with it. And weird about it.
So then as soon as he said, you know, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend, it was just a big speech about like, I think eventually we'll get to see each other, which I don't even know why 17-year-old me was like, I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, basically as soon as after the whole relationship started, he was begging for pictures, disgusting pictures.
You guys know what kind of pictures we're
Which
talking about.
obviously
I'm not gonna
I was
say it, but
17 and I wasn't gonna agree to saying something at that age. It was horrible. But he kept.
Obviously, we have to say the elephant in the room. He's a pedo.
Yeah,
and
we're
he's
not gonna
really
try to
just
hide
straight
that.
up weird
If
for
I'm
that.
17 and he's 22 and he's admitted to liking me since I was 16.
15 or 16.
Since, yeah.
But didn't he admit to
Full
liking
on.
you when he was just watching the videos a really,
I
really
think,
long
yeah, I
time ago?
think so. Which would have been even worse because he's 5 years older, so you can do the math. Anyway, this whole bugging for pics things goes on, and we're gonna be really straightforward and honest about it. But I
It never
tell.
really did end, did it?
It never did end, but it just came on so strong in the start. I would go to bed every night like afraid that some feds were gonna come get him and I was gonna be blamed somehow. Like I was gonna, even though I hadn't said anything, but one of the things he finally like. When did you learn me and him were together? Like in January or something?
I honestly don't even know.
Do you remember those weird times in February, like around the time we would walk to Subway?
Oh yeah.
He started to get bad.
I
Like
feel
the drama
even
started
then
to
we
get
say
really.
stuff though.
We didn't really, but the drama just started to get so bad. And
Yeah.
like eventually, I'm just gonna be real. He sends a picture of himself. Not something you want to see.
His face or
His
you know what?
that he sends. His privates. And basically, I hadn't asked for it, so it was like, oh okay. And I just went with it since I was. When I say went with it, I don't mean send anything back. I mean like I was just like okay. Since I was like
go over
in
it,
shock,
ignore it.
tried to be like, okay, this didn't just happen, but eventually he starts to use that picture against me, and I quote, like, it was a privilege I got to see it, and I had to get over my insecurity and send stuff back. It was like I literally have
But that's not the first time.
nah.
How many times was he really doing this? Basically,
It kept going
throughout
on.
the entire
I
thing.
have literally a list, and I'm just gonna hold this up to each camera at a time,
If you guys can see that.
so you can just see how long it is. And it's not even all of it. This is a list of literally all the messed up stuff he did. Not all of it. Anyway, that happened. That's literally it. Yeah, told me unsolicited nude was a privilege for me and I needed to get over my insecurity and send back when I was 17. So anyway, that happens, basically blah blah blah. At this point, we're both talking to him, I'm gonna say January through March 2020. Let's get into that.
That's
COVID's
when
just
it really
starting,
started
we're
to
literally
heat up.
going crazy in the head.
That's when it really started to heat up, I think. right?
Yeah, it really did. Not even to mention there was this random group chat we got put into that he got put into as well.
When was that?
It was
that
people we
March?
didn't know. That was February, March. I think it was March. Anyway, people we didn't know at all, and he was somehow in it, and we were.
I think we originally.
And he sided with the other people.
I think basically what happened is we were getting insulted in it, made fun
So
of.
we added him for backup,
yeah,
and he sided with the other
completely
people.
didn't give us any backup. Yeah, he went
Uh-huh.
on their side.
Meanwhile, this whole stupid "you need to send me stuff" argument came up like at least once a week, and it was always boiled down to some giant fight with him saying we'd be better off as friends. Do you remember that?
You
And
think?
he would. The only way for him to like get back with me was if you had to talk with him and explain
Ugh.
the whole story of what was going on. But anyway,
But I feel like he would say
he said
better off
stuff-
his friends and then switch it up the next day,
He would. He absolutely would.
which is something wrong with him.
And you would be like, at the time, he's 13, and this guy's going to him, this 23-year-old is going to him for relationship
13-year-old
advice with a
Who
17-year-old.
did have more experience. I'm gonna put that in.
And one thing, he said inappropriate stuff to you as well. One of the things he was like, my brother did have a little, like, girlfriend, like, first
Nothing
love.
Dirty
It was
or
nothing more
gross
than
at
a
the
little
time.
kiss on the cheek or something, whatever. But anyway, he was like, you're lucky you get more action with her than I ever get with Savannah, who's me, because she doesn't let me do anything. Wasn't it like she would only ever let me hug? That would be as close.
I think he
Even
said
though it was just
something
online.
like
He was
that.
in
I'm not even
Australia.
sure. I might still have that saved in our chat.
Yeah, it was stuff
I'm
like
not
that.
sure.
And he would say it to a 13-year-old.
Which is obviously super
little
disgusting.
brother.
You don't say that to a 13-year-old
Yeah,
boy.
and another thing was like, when he was doing all this stuff and getting super like charged up and horny and trying to get stuff, I was like at one point, as a joke, obviously, I was like, I'm gonna neuter you or I'm gonna cut off your balls because
Oh,
he was
God,
being
I remember
annoying.
that.
And then he goes straight to him.
Uh-huh.
He goes straight to my brother, and he's like, screenshot it and sent it, and was like, you need to tell her to quit this. Like he got
What did
all
I say?
insecure
I don't
about
even
it.
remember. Was
I
that
don't
on
know.
Instagram?
Yeah, it was.
Which I don't think I can read that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm gonna go back to the other thing about the Emma. No
Yeah.
action. What action was I getting? That he was
Exactly.
thinking of.
What was he thinking of, and why say it to a bunch
He
of
was
kids?
putting some type of like dumb idea into his head that I was.
And
doing
one
gross
thing
stuff
he
with her.
always does, and there's so many examples, or he's always done, was make a random assumption about a person and then assume with 100% certainty that's what it was.
He would basically just broil up these big ideas in his head of how people
And they
actually
were true. And they were true. He did it about me cheating.
But he would make
once.
a completely fake personalities for people.
Oh yeah. Like he full and convinced himself I was cheating on him out of nowhere when I didn't even so
He would
much
make
as
up
talk
his own
to other
personality
guys.
traits for each people that
Uh-huh.
they never ever said
And
anything
basically it was
about.
I was literally at the store going to the grocery store with our mom, and he were at home, and he was just full on spam texting me about how I was cheating. And then we get back, and you had to tell him I wasn't cheating for some reason, and then after that he was
Yeah, I
like,
remember
it was all a
that.
joke, ha ha ha. It was horrible. Is there anything else you can remember from that time period?
I do
It was
remember, like,
very, like, we couldn't go out in the car. He literally he was gonna break up or do something bad. We went out in
what
the
I was
car
gonna
together.
say is, I do remember, like, every week I had to try to patch something up.
Yep, and we didn't. Why the hell was a 13-year-old little brother patching up his sister's
And most of the
like,
time, not even just
relationship
that, but
with
most of the
some
time, this stuff
groomer?
was really,
Yeah.
really, really stupid.
Extremely
Stuff
stupid.
that you wouldn't even think somebody would be making a fight about. But I remember when we were trying to do stuff, we had to patch up a little thing before we could go out.
So we weren't, because we were worried like I was gonna be distracted and crash the car, which literally happened once. I
Basically
backed into
happened.
a log once, but it was
Like
fine.
a fence log thing that was
The
behind
day he
the
was
bumper.
breaking up and going back together. And anyway, we weren't allowed to go on these. We would
Which I
drive
do-
to a walking place.
I'm not
in
going
the
to pull that
woods.
right now, but we do actually have a text message of us saying, of me saying to him that we just want to go on a walk. We
Yeah,
couldn't- we
and
couldn't
him
do
saying,
it.
"Well, that's too bad. You're not going."
He wouldn't let it happen. Somehow from
And
across the world, he wouldn't let it happen.
one of the things he said to me was like a threat. Was like, "I'm gonna find your parents on Facebook and message them." And I was like, "My parents don't even have Facebook." And then he said, "Well, then I'll message as many friends as possible." And at that point, I blocked him on my main Facebook and made a fake account just to talk to him on it and pretend.
And I think if
it
you
was my
block the
main.
person you're dating on your main Facebook, then
Yeah,
that's kind
that's
of a
yeah.
red
Because I was
flag to
terrified
sign.
of like my parents finding out and like it being this big thing. It
Which
was
obviously
embarrassing as
wouldn't
shit.
have been very good if you were 17
Yeah,
and he was
exactly.
22 or
23 going on. And anyway, it was this big thing whenever we went to our grandparents' house.
Oh god.
If me and my brother, he was in the same room while I was in a call. At this point, we were doing like calls. Then he would not talk, or he would be extremely
Sit
rude
there
to
in
me.
silence, right?
And I'd be like, hello, hello. He would still answer the call, but he just wouldn't talk. There was one instance, though, where I was taking a bath, and he called me 50 to 100 times. out of
actually?
nowhere. Yes, I swear to
Check.
God. I swear to God.
That
like,
is sick.
I have screenshots of all this stuff.
That is sick. That shouldn't even be possible.
And it was horrible. I couldn't use my phone, and I wouldn't block him because I was, like, trauma bonded. I don't know if you guys know what that even means. It was just a horrible situation. It literally just made me want to kill myself at the time. Anyway,
That was right why.
I was so...
Because I remember you would hang out in Nan and Papa's room. I
we'd
would
hang out in
the other
separate
room.
rooms because of him. Making me want to just end it, you know? Like, it was horrible.
But it was just anytime we tried to do anything outside the house,
Yep, we
come
couldn't
back to
do
a blown up phone.
Yep.
And it was just terrible. And it
was
would make us not
awful.
want to do anything. And at
And
the time, I feel like we kind of tried to tell ourselves maybe it was just us
yeah,
having
we
our
did.
differences, not wanting to do stuff. But it really
It
wasn't.
was
It was him.
us. He drove a giant wedge into me and my brother's friendship, and it was horrible because.
And
we
at the
literally
time,
been-
I feel like I kind of had an idea of it at the time, though. Because I remember there was
Yeah.
even messages of me saying, stop texting my sister so
Uh-huh,
much on the Snapchat, which I think I showed you.
And he tried to make my brother out. He literally likened him to Satan.
Yeah.
For wanting like this toxic relationship to end. And it was just like, I have a list
it
of
was
shit.
very
so
obviously toxic.
I'm just gonna read off a random one. Got mad when I asked a question about his car before I asked how are you, like in the morning. Like I couldn't
Before, like,
ask
greeting him
about
and
his
saying
car
how he
first.
was.
Yeah. I
That-
couldn't. It was like I was putting his car over him, which absolutely made no sense.
But no, a normal person wouldn't come
that
up
thought
with
wouldn't
that.
go into
yeah,
their brain.
They wouldn't come up with that kind of assumption.
And another thing he would do is he would say he hoped my car exploded.
when you were in it.
Yes, so
That-
it broke down or exploded. Called me lazy because I didn't have a job when I was literally a child. About the random assumptions and making shit up. He would assume out of nowhere that I laid in bed all day. It didn't happen. Like, he would assume I was laying in bed if I was texting him.
I feel like a lot of the time, he didn't, because we could never text people when we went out or anything.
Yeah, because we didn't have like data. We weren't.
So he thought when you stopped
We should
texting that
Wi-Fi.
you were just doing something in the house, but it was actually us going out and doing
Yeah. Let's go to more 2020 stuff.
Because we are in 2020.
Yeah.
I think we should end it off in 2020.
Yeah, we should. But
Because there's just so
let's just
much
name a
more
few
shit
more.
after that.
He did say he hated my brother so much for trying to split me out of this toxic thing and trying to make me see how it was, that he said if I ever posted another YouTube video with my brother in it, that the relationship was over.
Keep in mind that
He was
YouTube
gonna
videos were
block
something we were doing for years before this.
before he came into the question.
and probably
it's the
years
reason
before he even
did.
started commenting on stuff. But he did find my channel, correct?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What else? Where the hell was I? You can say anything you can think of right now.
All I can really think of that
He would also.
I remember was just the
Go
fighting
ahead.
every single day.
Yeah, it was
Every
all,
single
every
day
day.
it was a big battle.
So basically, I had to call him instead of going out our family was like having a fire in the yard and making s'mores, and I had to stay in the super hot attic, which I normally wouldn't have even been in. It was 150 degrees.
No joke. It was actually 140,
yeah, it was
degrees. But I do remember that day.
I had to stay up there and call him, and I couldn't go out to the fire.
That day, I do remember us all outside having a fire. Mom was like,
She
"Why
was
don't you
like,
go ask
yeah.
Savannah?" And I were going up, knocking on the attic door.
And me saying, no, I don't want to. But I truly didn't want to, but I couldn't, or else Dad was going to see
I
that.
think I thought you were sick or something.
Oh. But, like, as I said, he had realistic threats that would have prevented me from, like, he was going to say stuff to my parents. And,
Yeah.
you
Not
know.
even just saying, "Oh, we're gonna break up."
It wasn't
Something
that
he could
wasn't
actually
even a threat,
do.
like, there was this. Okay, so we actually had a 2-day or 1-day breakup in June 2020. The whole thing was we didn't do watch porn in the relationship, obviously, and I don't anyway because it's just weird to me. But that was the big agreement, which I think he honestly said first. And so I wasn't saying anything, so he decided, or I don't even know what I did, but he decided he was gonna watch porn, and then this is the thing. And when he did, so he basically was texting me through him watching porn, and he was like, porn's great, you can search it and you get what you want, unlike you know.
That's.
He was literally,
messed
mind
up.
you, he was visiting his parents and he was in their bathroom jacking off.
See, actually,
I swear to God.
that is. Oh my God.
And he said I drove him to it, and it was great because he could get whatever he wanted. And then as soon as he finished, that post-nut really hit, and he was told on himself, and he was like, "This is it. We can't be together anymore because of this." And so the whole day,
Just that one little thing,
I
just
don't-
screamed something super wrong with him.
yeah. And I obviously
really,
just kind of
really
really
wrong.
messed up what I thought of myself and what I thought I was worth in a relationship, or what I thought I really was. Honestly, hated myself. I don't know. And anyway, the next day we were broken up. He was still constantly texting. He did admit that he blocked me for a couple hours while I was sleeping. Then he unblocked me because he didn't have the heart to, or some shit.
Oh my God.
And he was like, I want to get with another girl. I have to do it immediately. But obviously nobody else wanted him, and he didn't try. But even though
Was that the time he was messaging me and saying, "There's some deepest dark."
yeah, he said I deserve to be in the deepest, darkest place
That
in
time,
hell.
yeah, that's what he said to me.
Yeah.
I don't remember what else there was
And
though.
you don't know why at the time, but that was why. And he said now I can, but he had mixed feelings about it. Whoa, pause, wind.
Okay, we're so far over.
He had mixed feelings about it because half the time he was saying, "Yay, now I can look at women in bikinis and not
Then the next
get in
minute
trouble."
he would
And
say,
then the next minute he would be like, "What am I gonna do? I'm never gonna have anyone. You were the best I could have ever had." And then finally, I somehow convinced him to get back with me. I don't know what the fuck I did that because I was so depressed at the time. I don't know.
"What else is there?"
A lot of this is I was trying to organize it mostly from 2020. We're gonna talk about what I was asking for.
So gross.
He would ask for really gross stuff, which I never said.
I don't think we need to be
We don't, but
specific.
guys,
He would ask for
very
just think of the
obscene
grossest picture you can think of, and that's probably what he
and
wanted
videos
to
and
see.
stuff, which I didn't
Which
send.
he didn't get. What he wanted.
It was horrible because I was just a kid.
The thing about 2020 is there was a lot of just the same crap happening over and over and over again.
That it was,
That there's not that many different instances. I feel like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Kind of just a lot of the
I'm
same
gonna
crap.
find. It's in this weird album.
Compared to the New Year's, or just even recently, I think we have so much to talk about with it.
Okay, so when I basically said I'm not in the mood when I didn't want to send him pictures, and he said, "Since when am I not in the mood for voice chats? I should say later on when you're desperate to talk to me that I'm not in the mood. See how you like it."
Basically,
That he was comparing me talking to
I was
him
just
to
gonna say.
sending.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah,
Comparing calling, talking to getting.
it's your
Nasty
fault. I'm not
pictures.
getting action. Every time I ask, you say you're not in the mood. Bitch, I go above and beyond for you, and you just give me this in return. Disgraceful. I'm quoting this
Above and beyond how?
by sending me dick pics. It was so awful. Should we stop at 2020?
I think we should. Honestly, 2021, I don't really know.
He was always
Because
horrible
we just
about
barely talked in 2021.
talking shit on the family when he knew nothing about them.
Yeah, that's a big one too. Just talking crap about all the family members.
And
Knew
when I
nothing
went,
about
anything I did with family, going on a run with my mom, going to the grocery store with my mom, going out to have a fire with the
them.
family.
Even
Going to my
family
grandparents.
holidays and stuff.
Christmas, he said to me, that he deserved to see me more than my grandparents, so I should stay home by myself when all my family went to my grandparents and be on the phone with him instead. Okay, another
Which
thing
kind of seems like a hypocrite because I'm sure he would go.
with his family,
Yeah, I'm sure he would never stay home just to talk to you.
Another thing I quote, why'd you even go to the pond anyway? I went with my family to go swimming. And I was like, to swim? And then he said, you don't swim in a fucking pond. That's stupid. You go to a fucking lake. Like, who just... I'm reading this shit.
I don't understand.
It doesn't get that deep yet.
I'm trying to think. I don't know what else we can get into with 2020.
Oh yeah, there was this big thing where... If this is a 2020 thing, I did tell you about it. This big thing where he pretended, apparently, that we were in a relationship, that he saw some super hot woman on the street walking, and she was so hot and amazing.
Big tits, big ass.
Yeah, he basically tried to compare her to me, and he said he was this close to telling her he wanted to fuck her in the back of his car. Which is what?
Never would have happened anyways, but
hell no.
the entire situation was made up.
Then
and
later
fake.
on, he said, she never existed, I'm laughing my ass off right now. After a 3-hour-long ordeal of me thinking, you know, this actually happened. It was this big description, like, she had the perfect body, blah, blah, blah. It was crazy.
Which is funny for him to say.
Coming from him. Guys, honestly, he was disgusting.
We're going to probably do a picture reveal at the end of one of these videos, because we're going to do multiple parts, but...
Yeah, because I can't really name much from, like... I can't really say much that happens in the calls when you were there, because I was 21 and up. 21, 22. Yeah, 2020.
Honestly, the most
crazy.
crap happens when you broke up and we actually decided to finally do something about it.
Decided to finally
Which
retaliate.
I'm tempted to get into, but we kind of can't right now, without doing everything else.
Yeah, we have to start in 2019.
But it felt like it gives me an idea of
how crazy it was.
How bad of a person he was, how creepy he was, how weird he was, how perverted he was.
Yeah.
Just a really big piece of shit.
I did nothing in these years. I had done nothing.
Neither of us really did anything.
In these years,
I'm sure I had my moments where I was rude to him, but...
what the hell, you know? You gotta be at that point.
I'm sure
There was 2 instances I just want to name that I randomly thought. There was one instance where we're on the call and he's mad about something. I don't know what. It was something small. And he got so mad that he threw his phone at the wall.
Broke it, blamed it on you.
Blames it on me. It wasn't full on broken, but yeah, it still worked. But he said it was my fault. And you gotta think, people like that are like this was just online, you know? People like that are gonna be getting violent.
I've heard about that a lot, though. That's like an actual problem.
Exactly. It's one step away from
And I'm gonna say this because
being
it's
physical.
a very big, kind of reason to all this, but he does have autism.
Yeah, he does, but we know other autistic people, quite a few, and none of them. If you guys have any
how we could be autistic.
idea, yeah, we are, of something that's gonna make someone act like this, or if you've been in a similar situation, then please tell me, because I've been silent.
If you know somebody that kind of acts similar to how we're explaining this guy,
tell
us.
The other phone incident I didn't want to say is he was at work. He got a notification from me, and he went to pick his phone out of his pocket, and he dropped it, and it did break. And he blames it on me just because I texted him. Like, what? He got really mad at me. This whole thing
Which I think if you actually care about somebody, you don't give a shit about.
You don't!
Breaking a phone over or something like that.
Because we've both been in, dumb relationships, but, being in a better relationship is, holy shit, normal stuff is, amazing to me. It's, this shouldn't be how I should feel, you know? This is...
But you're so messed up from him that it
feels
normal.
it's years worth
extreme.
Of emotional abuse that would have turned physical. Thank God he's in Australia.
Almost wish he was here so we could actually,
taken measures,
bring it to him,
but we don't want, What else? I don't know what else to even...
A lot of this stuff is kind of
all this
not
stuff...
very vivid to me anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I pull up screenshots and shit. Because I literally have
And a lot of the stuff in 2020, like I was saying, was just kind of the same repetitive shit every single day or every week.
It was the same shit day after day. Don't go out. Don't be with your family. I deserve you more.
Don't talk to your brother.
Don't talk to your brother, especially for some reason to this day.
Just fighting with us.
Fighting constantly.
Another thing I always remember in 2020 was him being super involved with me and Emma.
It was very weird.
Do you remember me getting mad about that?
Yes, he was super involved with my brother's little relationship, which wasn't even at the time. I think you guys were broken up. They were both 13.
Yeah, which...
And he would constantly want my brother.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
Somehow convince you to get back with Emma, so you could
hang out with
Which
her.
didn't happen anyway. Went alone and hung out with her, so me and him could be alone together. Which I constantly wanted that, and I don't know why. And literally, when I got into my new relationship, you were like thinking it was gonna make us split up somehow,
Yeah,
just because
he'd been
we
doing
would
that
stop
crap for
talking.
years.
He literally scarred both of our views on what it should be like. But it's so different now, because like.
And I feel
all
like that's
three of us
why.
can-
But I feel like that's why we have to just keep doing more and more stuff to him.
I know.
Because every time, and I know no one's gonna have any idea what we're talking about. 'cause
If you
we haven't got
guys
there yet.
want us, if you guys actually are on our side, like obviously you are, give us some ideas of what you would do in this situation to actually make that person know to like what they.
I
did
don't
is,
think
like, get out of
anybody,
off.
even if he really, really went in depth on his side, which I know he couldn't do.
It,
I don't
there's
think
no
anybody would take his
justification. No, you couldn't. Anyway, that is kind of everything to go over.
That we're gonna go over in this video. So,
And that's just ending at 2020, basically. It goes 21 to 22, and then it stops in 23. So yeah, that's the video for today.
part
And
one,
maybe-
2017 through 2020, gonna wrap it up. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll do like 21, 22 next. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Bye bye.
See you guys in the next one.